I would say, you know, as part of making the pitch video, you have to understand, what are you pitching? You know, what's your goal? You know, what are you trying to have them buy? Are you trying to have them donate to finishing funds? Are you having them try to buy the movie? Or are you having them try to whatever it is? So you need to have a goal in mind with a sales tape, because that's what a pitch video is. It's a sales tape. So what is the call to action at the end of the video? And then where do you send them for that call to action? You know, is it go to this website? Is it call this number? Is it, you know, post this on Facebook? Is it, you know, tweet this? Well, I mean, I don't know what your call to action is, but what's the point of the pitch video? Just to make a pitch video, you know, okay, it's a fun exercise, and if you have the time, go for it. But it's like, you know, a good pitch video is a sales video. So what are you selling? What do you want them to do at the end of it?
Yeah, all of our diet, when we were doing Kickstarter, we had a very crystal clear call to action. After we set up the whole world and explained the journey, explained what we were trying to do, the call to action was, please donate whatever you can right now. It doesn't get much more clear than that, you know? I mean, every single thing pointed people to the donate button. That's what it was. That's where we were at. Well, guess what? The site, as we move into a point where, you know, we're going to be, you know, the DVD is actually being distributed and the film is being distributed, the call to action on the site is going to have to change. The call to action and everything leading to that call to action, all channels and pathways will have to change to, here's how you get your copy of the movie. You know, and whether that's go watch it right now on Netflix or buy the DVD here, whatever that call to action is, it needs to be crystal clear. Again, you may be trying to get people to the theater, or you may be trying to get people to, you know, donate, buy the DVD, tell their friends about it. You may have videos with different calls to action. I mean, it would make a whole lot of sense if you wanted to have a Twitter campaign, to have a video that you only really pushed really hard on Twitter, and you were just trying to get people to tweet that video over and over again, with a different one for Facebook and a different one, you know, all pushing them towards your main site, where of course your call to action is going to be buy the movie or help us finish the movie, that type of thing.
And it's also something that the studios are doing. I mean, Paramount Pictures did that with Paranormal Activity, you know, where they said they released it in a couple of little theaters, and then their call to action was bring the movie to your town. And so it's like, sign up here. If we get X amount of people signing up in your town, we'll bring the movie. You know, so it's one of those things where, you know, again, it's just very like, what's your goal? What are you trying to do with this video?
I do think a lot of people never decide what their goal is, and you will see a lot of pointless videos on Kickstarter. I mean, we spent a lot of time, as you guys know, studying what worked and also studying what didn't. And invariably, I think the videos that I saw where I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to support that film, are the ones where they either just threw up a trailer, or they didn't really tell you, they didn't ask you to do anything other than like, hey, we're making a movie. Great, you and 10 million other people, you know? But I do think that if you're, you know, if you're able to explain to people what you want them to do, you're already so much more likely to get them to do that. So just know what you're asking for in your pitch video.
And sales 101 is you have to ask for the sale, right? And so that's the most uncomfortable part, but that's the point. You know, so if you don't ask for the sale, you can't be mad that they don't buy.
Yeah, and a lot of artists will feel like, oh, but I don't want to ask for the sale, that feels so businessy. But how else are people supposed to see your movie? You know, don't think of it as asking for the sale. You're asking them to watch your movie. You're asking them to, you know, you're asking them to take the time to see what you've made. And you know, you need to be compensated for that, even if it's just the cost of, you know, what it takes to get it to them. But you know, that's part of being an artist that wants to survive.
Right, but if you're an artist and you don't want to ask for the sale, don't make a pitch video.
Yeah, then just put your work out there and hopefully people will find it, you know, hopefully.
Is there a way to finesse the asking without begging, where you turn people off?
Yes, that's where the passion comes in.
Yeah.
You know, it's sharing that passion, is that, you know, I think you know when someone's begging and, you know, it doesn't come from a real place, or they're just being very, you know, over and over and over about it, where it's like, I get it already, leave me alone. You know, you have to allow people to opt out of certain things. You know what I mean? So even if they've bought into sale and now they're constantly getting reminders every day, you know, that's no good either, because they're just like, enough, I already bought in, leave me alone. So you have to be careful with how you manage your contact lists and how you know, follow up is important, and if they haven't, you know, but go through your list and filter out the people who've already donated. You know what I mean? Or who've already bought, so that, you know, those people don't keep getting hit and get a sour taste.
Yeah, it is hard with Kickstarter because if you're a backer, you tend to get the updates unless you uncheck, and most people don't uncheck, so they'll still keep getting updates. So you have to watch your updates. But you said the most important thing, which is the way to not come across like you're begging is to be coming across with something that's an honest, pure, and true ask. You know, in our case, dying to do Letterman, it was, we had finished the film and we needed to go to DocuWeeks and we really couldn't afford it. DocuWeeks was really expensive, you know, and we were able to say, this is why we're raising the money, you know, and this is why it's important to us. And I think people saw that we were serious because, one, we'd spent our life savings making the movie, you know, two, it was done, you know, three, we were supporting, you know, our best friend and his dream. All that stuff was working together and we just weren't afraid to share that with people. Like, we felt like we have to tell them, it's the truth. I think, though, that if I had tried to use the exact same campaign to do, you know, a romantic comedy starring me and Joke, you know, and it's like, oh, you know, you want to see this, give us money, give us money. I mean, I don't think anybody would pay to see that, number one. But number two, it's a completely different ask, and you would need to come at it from a different angle. So again, being honest from the beginning, I think,
and being true to yourself. Like, we've seen a lot of young filmmakers who are like, you know, they get access to kind of a, you know, the lot or something, you know, and then they shoot their entire pitch video like, look at me, I'm walking on Paramount Studios and I want to make a movie and blah blah blah, and you're like, dude, no, I'm not buying it. You know what I mean? Like, if that's the case, then what are you calling me for? You know, it's like, if you're sitting in your apartment, you're like, people, this is all I got, but I really want to make a movie and I want to get to Paramount Studios, you know, I think
I think if you act too cool for school from the beginning, and a lot of filmmakers do, I'm not sure why. I know why. It's because a lot of people get into filmmaking for odd reasons, and they want to look cool to their friends. And I know you're thinking of one particular video. I'm not going to say who it was, but, you know, it's just like shot like in the hallways of like this really expensive studio, and, you know, this director's eating a piece of pizza and talking about how cool it's going to be if you just help him get his film done. And he's going to win some awards. It's going to be badass, you know? And it's just like, and I think he raised $22 of his $50,000.
Yeah, I mean, if you go with the whole thing like, you should donate so you can jump on my bandwagon, yeah, you've lost them.
I'm not going to support those kind of things, and that's also why we didn't roll right into another Kickstarter campaign when we finished the first one. You know, I mean, and I don't know when we're going to do another one, but if we do another Kickstarter campaign, it's going to be for something that we're as passionate about, because it is hard to ask people. It is hard to ask people for support. It is hard to ask people for money. And you have to ask everybody, you know?
But I think what we've learned, I mean, I was much more apprehensive on it than you were. But I think what we learned more than anything is that if you're being true to yourself, you have nothing to lose. And people feel it, and they got so involved. I mean, we still get emails every day like, what's going on? You know, we want to follow the journey. You know, so I think that, you know, it's not begging if you're just stating your case and saying, here's who I am, this is why I'm passionate about this. This would go a long way. Help if you can.